Hi, I'm Mark Loftus, and thanks for joining us for another episode of Post TV. Today I'm joined with Christina Garza, who's the Senior Manager for Global Product Marketing at G Technology, a Western digital brand. Christina, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Great to see you. Thanks for taking some time. I know we've talked with G-Tech many times in the past. You guys always have some really interesting solutions when it comes to storage. Today, I know you said you wanted to talk about some of the Thunderbolt 3 technology that you've implemented. What do you guys have going on?
So we have a few products we've had for a few years now with Thunderbolt 3, from portable SSDs all the way up through our massive capacity G-Speed shuttles. And really what I wanted to focus on was the benefit of Thunderbolt 3. What does it really mean? Because there's so many interfaces out there today. We just want to make sure there's clarity behind the benefit of it. And why Thunderbolt 3 is so important in the media and entertainment industry.
Gotcha. Obviously, you have a number of products that span the Thunderbolt 3 line. Do you want to talk about what you've got and maybe the different scenarios in which they would be used, whether it's on set, whether it's editing, DIT stations, et cetera?
Sure. So we'll start with our portable NVMe SSD, which is our G Drive Mobile Pro SSD. It's Thunderbolt 3. Of course, and it is a powerhouse in a very small package. So I have one right here with me, so you can see it's pretty small, but it's really built for any production or post-production on the go. We also build it for DITs, understanding that the need to transfer really fast is important. So if you need crazy speeds, it goes up to 2,800 megabytes per second, and that's just incredible. That kind of relates to a terabyte transferring in under 7 minutes. It's just crazy when you put it in terms like that, but it's really fast. And it's primarily used, people use it as a scratch drive to do editing, so edit right off of this drive versus using your computer, saving some of that power for the computer. Also on the go, you can transfer incredibly fast so that you're limiting downtime when you're going through from camera, transferring into master backup and into the dailies. And just that speed at which you can do it is incredible. We also have our desktop drives, our G Drive with Thunderbolt 3, as well as G RAID. And of course, the G Drive is a single bay. It's really intended to do really fast backups or also edit right off of that as well. We've seen both scenarios. Really, people just don't want the downtime. They don't like the lag, especially when they're doing really fast multi-stream workflows and they need that to happen quickly. We have those products from a high capacity perspective that can help eliminate any of that lag. The G RAID, you want a RAID product, especially if you're working on pretty important files. That product is really popular for us right now, and it gives you that RAID you want with the 2-bay. And then from there, we go up to the G-Speed shuttle, which we offer in a 4-bay system and 8-bay system, which goes up to 112 terabytes. And we also have an SSD version of it that is just crazy fast. So that's where, if you really need a workhorse to do multi-stream editing, and transfers and all of that really quickly, that G-Speed shuttle SSD it's tailor-made for that specifically.
Are they all powered through Thunderbolt 3, or is there external power in different situations?
The Mobile Pro SSD is powered by the Thunderbolt 3, so it's bus powered, so it's going to connect to your computer. And I'm really glad you asked that question because it's incredibly important to talk about the power delivery from Thunderbolt 3. So we've gone, Thunderbolt 3 delivers up to 15 watts of power. If you have an NVMe SSD, such as our Mobile Pro, it's going to require that power in order to run at the performance and the level that it's built for. And so Thunderbolt 3 has given that benefit to be able to power a NVMe SSD and get that 40 gigabit performance that is offered by the Thunderbolt 3. Our desktop products are external powered, so they have to have a wall power for that.
And obviously, if you're desktop, you're probably near power outlets and stuff, so it wouldn't be so much of an issue. I know you were talking, obviously, about Thunderbolt 3, but G Technology also has USB-C based products also, and there is applications for those. It's not as if Thunderbolt 3 is, well, it's an upsell, but it's not necessarily the only options out there.
Yeah, exactly. And some instances where USB-C is probably a better option than Thunderbolt 3. Our USB-C drives work with iPad Pro now. So you have a USB-C port. You can plug straight into your iPad which is incredible now that those iPad Pros are basically computer grade now. Also, really important for photographers and videographers, you can now plug it with compatible cameras that have USB recording. USB-C allows you to plug directly into an external SSD and record to it. The amount of time you're going to save by doing that, being able to get the speed of the USB-C and the SSD from a transfer perspective. So now you're going to match the camera speed into the SSD, and you're also going to eliminate that need for a reader. So being able to take a card out of the camera, then plug into reader, do the transfers. The USB-C protocol allows that to happen so much faster. So you're eliminating, again, it's all about, the bottom line is on the line, right? It's all about speed, eliminating downtime, and making your production faster.
Well, eliminating that whole transfer process of freeing up media so that it can get back to a camera, you have it right there.
Right, and so there's benefits to USB-C still. If the Thunderbolt 3 is not always exactly what you need, USB-C, our USB-C products definitely have value to them.
You mentioned some of the people that have used it. I know that there's people shooting. You had mentioned photography. Who on the pro side would some of your users be, and what are the scenarios? Is it on set? Is it editorial? Can you talk about some of the customers, if not mentioning them by name, but maybe the type of work that they're doing?
Sure, it's both. You know, we have customers that are doing productions on moving vehicles and in trains and things like that, and making sure that they have what they need set up to be able to quickly get from camera. When they're not going to get back to a studio, we need to be able to give them the products they need to be able to function as a studio on set wherever they're traveling. And so we have DITs, post editors, sound editors are all doing this on the go. And so being able to make them mobile with our transportable G-Speed shuttles, it allows you to take this incredibly high capacity product, take it on trains. We can customize it with EV readers where you can remove all the drives, put EV readers into them, and then take, for example, red camera mags, pop them into the system, quickly transfer. You can do up to 8 at a time. So we are able to set you up in a way that whether you're on set, in studio, in the field doing small camera movement type things with the different products. So from the portable SSDs to do really fast transfers into your master backups, to ingesting camera media directly into shuttles for, you know, transferring of 8 different cards simultaneously. So you're back to your question of who is it? It's everybody. And it's DITs that are transferring. It's having our G-Speed shuttles to do fast ingests. It's also being able to have a fully loaded up to 112 terabyte shuttle on set to do a master backup and consolidation while they're there. And they don't have to worry about waiting till they get back to the studio to have that master backup and that peace of mind.
Right. Again, on the capacities of some of the different releases, the Mobile Pro SSD and the G Drive, the RAID, and the Speed Shuttle.
So G Drive Mobile Pro SSD goes up to 2 terabytes right now. And we're always looking to go more. So hopefully we can go higher. But right now it's available with up to 2 terabytes. Using it as a scratch drive, and it's not truly used for backup all the time. It's used for fast editing and real-time editing. 2 terabytes seems to be a good sweet spot for that capacity and for the need that offers. The G Drive with Thunderbolt 3, I believe at this point we're going up to 16 terabytes, I think we have now.
Okay.
So it's huge. We can confirm that for you, but I think it's up to 14 to 16 at this point. And then the G RAID with Thunderbolt 3 is up to 28 terabytes. Again, it's a rated product, so there's some of that capacity will be reserved for the RAID. Right. But up to 28 terabytes at this point.
Would the user select what RAID setting they want on that? Is that how that would work?
They can. It comes shipped in RAID 0. Okay. But you can customize it however you need. So you can switch it to RAID 1, for example, if you want that redundancy. So the user can do it once they get that product. Just make sure if you're going to do it after you already have data on the drive, back up those drives. Don't change the RAID. Once you have data on the drives, make sure you're following those rules.
Yeah.
And then our G-Speed shuttle, we have a 4-bay G-Speed shuttle that goes up to 56 terabytes. And then our 8-bay G-Speed shuttle goes up to 112. And then we have G-Speed SSD. That's our workhorse. That one goes up to, I believe, 36 terabytes of SSD.
And that would be at the top of the line because it's SSD?
Correct. Yeah, you're going to get crazy fast speeds with that product.
Mm-hmm.
It is an example of a use case. We recently worked with a production crew that we switched them to SSDs, and they saved days at the back end of their production. Not just hours, but they shaved days off of their production. And hopefully we can talk about that a little bit more in the coming days in the future. But yeah, being able to see the switch, and it's going to be an investment up front. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
There's definitely an investment up front. But when you see how it pays off towards the end, and you're shaving days off productions, you're saving a lot of money doing that. And so you just have to look at what is your use case, what is your bottom line, and is it worth the investment up front in order to save all of that downtime and save days on your production.
Right. For viewers who might want to know a little more about the product lines, can we direct them to a website?
Yes, go to gtechnology.com. You'll find all the information you need there.
Very cool. Well, Christina, we want to thank you for taking some time to give us an overview on the products, especially the Thunderbolt 3 range, and I hope to hear more from you in the future.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you having me on, Mark.
Thank you.